So for anyone who wants to see the bracket, if we could get a bracket command chat, amazing moderators, legends, please create just edit command. Actually, I'll do it. There we go, easy peasy. So you guys can check through there. Obviously, it's a team league, lots of teams playing each other. You can see here, Alpha X ended up coming first in the standings in Group A at the end of the regular season. Taste the Bacon, aka Pigs Pan, my clan, came in second, 4-1-5-0 for Alpha X. Born Gosu came in third. This is in Group A, of course, 3-2. And unfortunately, Formless Bear Sloths barely missed the cutoff. We've cast them in a lot of finals. Lit Esports, Jam It Gaming. Over in Group B, we also, and I'll link this to Maynarde as well, just in case he doesn't have it up, but he probably does because he's smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it in the chat, so I opened it up.
My
Damn, man. Taste the Bacon's had some close matches. It's around a 6. It's like 4-3 on Team Unrivaled, 4-3 SC2 Swarm, which I remember SC2 Swarm being in the finals at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Born Gosu just seems to always be here, man.
They were born Gosu. They'll die Gosu.
So they didn't top Group A, but they've got a well-earned seat in the grand finale. I like it.
Hells yeah, man.
What a run.
I just love the name Born Gosu, because for me it harks back to like my first times hopping on the ladder in Warcraft 3 and people being like, "Oh, are you a Gosu?" and being like, "What the hell does that mean?" People are like, "It means big in Korean." And then like years later you ask Greenbirds, like, it doesn't mean that. And you're like, well, it means awesome and pro and cool for non-Korean people pretending to speak Korean, I guess, Korea booze. And it's got that history in the gaming community. You know, it's like Chobo, of course, being the opposite of Gosu, meaning, oh, I'm basically just an amateur. I'm just screwing around. And this, of course, is the Chobo Team League, which is an amateur league all about, basically getting players from gold through to masters to play each other, players of similar skills being matched together throughout the season, and getting kind of some of that amateur, beautiful kind of weekend play, same way we have with football and all sorts of other sports that we grow up loving. And this is kind of the heart and soul of the StarCraft community, so it's always a lot of fun for me and Maynard to get to cast this.
Yeah, it's always a blast. I've never not enjoyed myself. I mean, you know, there's a few lower level replays and you get the high level stuff right at the end, and it kind of feels like I'm casting subscriber replays but with a mate, which just enhances the flavor.
It's a lot of fun, man. Unfortunately, even though it's a best of 7, we're going straight to the second set here as we dive in, because Born Gosu's Gold League players all got promoted, and whilst there is like a 2-week grace period, they couldn't find a new Gold League player. All their Gold League players got promoted. And Taste the Bacon had to take the 1-0 advantage as they could feel a Gold League player in the gold match. But all the gold players from Born Gosu literally got too good.
Wow, that's a good problem to have. Well, in the top right here, we have got the green player representing Taste the Bacon. It is Singularity.
And down here in the bottom left in the red, representing Born Gosu, it is Seratai.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Seratai?
I gave you that one on purpose. I did not want to be the one to take that fall. I don't want to fall on that sword, you know? That's quite the name.
Oh my lord.
I don't know if this works with the Game Heart overlay that you have, but if you want to hide replay length, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, does it?
Sorry, that's really
right.
basic. Yeah, I almost always have that turned off, but I was doing my Pigs Weekly build yesterday. If anyone wants a nice TVT opening, so I was looking through my replays for an adequate replay that had a good TVT build order. Sorry guys, we spoiled that one. I'm
trying to keep it nice and spoiler free for all you guys out there in chatland.
Indeed. Thank you, man. There's also a note from the guys in chat from Born Gosu, Koek and Draz said, yeah, we actually never had a gold player the entire season. We're too good for that. We went into every series with a 0-1 disadvantage, and yet they've crushed their way through despite it. So I'm like, whoa, all right.
Oh, man. They're just activating handicaps every single week.
Yeah, and yet that's insane, man.
So they've just been like rolling up to the gym wearing a headband with like Goku wrist wraps, and they just throw the weights off and then throw down, and they're like 1,000% faster. I like it.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, man. Just kind of coming in for a bit of harassment is Singularity, by the way. Gonna be trying to keep this Reaper at home for a little bit. Reaper's gonna say, nope, get out of here. Nice clean up here by Saradai. It's gonna be an Adept back at home for Singularity. Wondering what tech it's gonna be. You can see it's a pretty fast Adept, so I think this was core before Nexus. So probably going to be like a second Adept or even a Stalker queuing up straight away, and might try to go across the map and pressure with that Adept. Of course, a very fast Reactor and second Barracks. So it looks like a 2-1-1 build from Saratai.
All right, yeah, 2-1-1, definitely a great build for players. It's a Babby First Terran build, as I like to call it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good at every single matchup when you're leveling up, so no surprises to see it here in this Platinum level game. This Reaper getting a probe kill as well. It's got 2 probe kills, actually. One back at home and one there in the main. Very nice. Singularity also saved that chrono boost, so it seemed like the Stalker wasn't out in time, but doesn't matter. Adept gets the Reaper. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Done its job though, right? Pulled the Adept home, allows the command center to finish safely on the other side of the map, sees the Twilight Council. And, oh, lovely. Gonna be a big old stim timing. Maynard's favorite.
I've been doing Widowmine drop lately, but I tell you what, that 3 racks, that got me many wins that I probably didn't deserve. Doesn't matter if the Protoss opponent's better than you. If you can 3 racks them and they don't see it coming, the game just ends. It really is quite a strong timing. And I've had people tell me, you know, oh god, you're so bad that attack timing makes no sense. You don't have medevacs. And actually, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. You don't need medevacs to make your stim marines do damage. You know, it's okay to take a little bit of hit point damage for a stim as long as you're shredding through 20 probes and a whole bunch of gateway units. So yeah, we are seeing this this variety of the 3 racks though seems to be without the engineering bay. My personal favorite's the one where you have +1 with it as well. And just a ton of Marines. So we'll see what Born Gosu's Saratai is going to go for here.
Indeed. Yeah, I really like these timings. And I think technically Blink is perfect against this if you've got really good control and you can kind of wear down the stim push. Actually executing it's another matter, and I'm not just saying like, oh, Singularity's maybe got some bad control. No, like I mess it up all the time and die to a 3x when I'm doing blink opening. It's easy to just like lose a bunch of Stalkers because you don't blink quick enough when they stim forward, and you've got only so much space on a small map like Neuropugnancy to kind of pull backwards. So I mean, he's done good Adept scouting to kind of see what he's up against. That's what I really like about Singularity. He kept shading in, he sees the Marine count, so he's very aware. And yeah, a couple of shield batteries going to go down for some insurance. I like this move.
That's definitely how you hold this. Shield batteries, sentries. I mean, I've had some players just go pretty fast Colossi or something with a robotics bay off 2 base. Oh, the Adept does die, but it confirms. I mean, if it didn't confirm it before, it confirms it again that there is a giant ball of Marines. And I did say that this is going to be the style without +1, but it looks like the +1's just been made a little bit later in the build. Normally, you get that a little bit earlier. So if he actually wants to hit this stim timing, it's going to be without that upgrade. It won't finish for quite a while. Stim and combat shield's quite a bit faster now.
You know, we might not even see the move out, right? I mean, it's already kind of intimidated the opponent, and, you know, it's a pretty well-timed factory. So some people, like, commit. It's like, you know, the factory goes down at 7 minutes after this. The medevacs are infinitely late, but in this case, the factory's down straight into a reactor. Starport goes down. So yeah, it looks like Saradai's kind of happy to just build up a big army right now. And it's a very efficient build. Like, if you think about it there, Saradai did a scan just to kind of check and said, oh, I don't think this is DTs I'm up against. It's just kind of like skipping missile turrets, massing Marines, getting the 2-base macro machine rolling.
Yeah, and it looks, emphasis might be on the 2 base here as we're seeing the 4th and 5th barracks go down, which is a ton of production for 2 bases. Usually that leads to an all-in, but of course, you know, we don't know 100% if that's going to actually be the case. He's been very, very defensive. This is normally an attack timing that he's using to just have, like, the most secure army back at home. Like, there is no cracking this this natural of the Terran, but Singularity is going to avoid that ball of units here with a Warp Prism heading towards the main base. He's got Charge on the way. He's got 3 gateways, so not, oh, actually 4 gateways, so not, I wouldn't say enough to be super frightening, especially considering there's 1,000 Marines on the low ground here. But see what we can get done. Just a couple Zealots being warped in. Maybe some other gateways are off cooldown, or maybe he doesn't want to use all of them just yet.
All right, yeah, nice Charge Zealots coming in as well. Yep, just going to pick up a couple Marines. Not bad. Does keep the opponent busy. No 3rd base yet, and that's what's a bit scary for Singularity here, because we've got a very gateway-focused army. And 2 base versus 2 base, this gets very scary as the numbers kind of grow. Saratai is actually going to use a spotty medevac to kind of see what that prism's up to. Does just say, oh, it's not a threat, let's go. But Saratai's mineral's starting to grow up quite a lot here, right? So the
production here.
Yeah, it's still a very strong attack. No Guardian Shield for Singularity. Singularity's got some decent gateways, a couple of mortars, couple of batteries, but this is going to be a very important engagement to see how the next stage of this game goes.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Like, there's double Forge for the Protoss, but neither upgrade is done yet. So the Terran has not only a giant army supply, but a +1 attack advantage as well. The Bio is being stimmed very early here, and it got stimmed earlier, so it's quite damaged.
And the Zealots go into the main base at the same time, making it very hard to micro, but there's just so few units at home for Singularity. It's just Stalkers and Immortals, but I think it's the Stim that's actually going to wear them down. The Shield Battery is doing so much healing. Oh, this Immortal, it's hitting Marines, not Marauders right now. I think Singularity can hold this, but just barely. Doesn't want to lose too many probes. On the other side, the Zealots have just been cleared up.
Yeah, the probes have been pulled here, but I think he needs to start pulling them back, saving as many as possible, letting the Stalkers and the Immortal do their thing. There's just going to be Immortals, or rather Marauders left over here, so the Immortal and the Stalker's going to have a field day. 14 probes went down, and these charge lots, I mean, they were hacking and slashing through the economy of Seratai as well. So it looks like we're going to have quite a bit of damage on both sides of the map. Both players now sub 40 workers. And yeah, I mean, there's a third base starting here for the Terran. He's just realized, oh, I got a bit of a mineral bank, time to spend that money. Protoss doing exactly the same on the south side of that natural. So both players licking their wounds and return. I don't hate the idea that they went for expansions here because they knew that both of them have lost their army. So it makes a lot of sense to take a third right now. They're like, oh, you know, I traded a lot there, but so did my opponent. So I think a third's going to be a safe option. So good call there.
You know, I felt like the position was kind of really advantaged for the Terran, but now I see that Templar Archives and that gas bank start to kick in. I mean, I worry a bit because Singularity's not really reprobing after losing those probe losses, so it's kind of stuck on a very low economy, but yeah, I mean, the power of Storm... The power of Archons, right? Even though the economy is better with mules and a few more SCVs for Seratai, it's an army that's a bit more fragile. So, you know, I always look at that and say, hey, some well-placed Storms, some good Archon shots on the Bio when it's clumped up can definitely do very well against this. And this next army is not really complete. There's only a few Marines in here. I think this is a great fight for Singularity. He's going to jump on it, catches the unit spread out.
Yeah, the south side of the bowl Bio here was a little bit late to marry up with the rest of them. They're really strong in a clump and not so strong when they're split up. And the Protoss is picking them apart here. Those upgrades are done, so it's 1-1 for both players. What I do love that's going... Like, that didn't go well for the Terran there, obviously, but what's going well for him is that he did get a Ghost Academy. It's already done. So if he starts producing some Ghosts and gets a handful of those up, they can absolutely swing the tides in his favor here in the next few fights. But it feels like he's trickling in a little bit here and there. Yeah. Not really a convincing amount of units being used for this drop, and also still rallying units across the map. I think he might be doing, you know, the technical term is getting a boner here. I think he might be getting a bit of a boner.
Yeah, definitely trying to micro and push, and it's really clever positioning, but there's so few units there that I think even with the clever Liberator placement, a nice D-power, it is a bit risky, right? Using your APM for that when you've got other things like, you know, landing the third and keeping your production up that might be more important right now. I worry just because those upgrades are continuing, right? For Singularity, if he repowers this, we're going to get that double upgrade advantage. We're going to have the third base up. Probes are being rebuilt for Singularity. So Singularity, I feel like, is settled back into that macro rhythm. Meanwhile, Seratai did some good pressure, but it was just a little bit preemptive. I think needed to just focus on the macro a little bit more. And now is doing that. And we can see Seratai's economy start to explode. The Marauders coming in. I'd love to see that 2-2 start up. And a couple Ghosts, like you mentioned, could be the game winners in this match against High Templar Archon.
I was checking the back of the main base there, and I saw he did select his engineering base, but didn't have the money for it. So I think he was just like, oh, I'll get back to that later. Because you see, he is using that money to get those Ghosts out. He has seen Archons, which means High Templar are not far behind. There's a Prism here for Singularity, so he might be able to... I mean, it's a high-level micro move, but to be able to load up those 4 High Templar into this Prism, it's so good against Ghosts. They don't actually lose their energy if you EMP the Prism. But it does mean that if you lose that Prism, you're losing a lot of resources. So it's kind of a get a little, give a little. This attack on the third base is pretty nice here from the Protoss. Looks like Seratai, maybe not looking at the minimap here, a very late response from his army.
Yeah, lots of mules and SCVs going down. Where's the EMP? Oh, where's the Storm EMP? Neither of them landing right now. Big EMP lands. There's still 2 High Templar with Storm, but they're not landing those spells right now. That Terran is so clumped up, but Singularity, a little bit of distraction as well, has not used those Psy Storms yet. Still not being able to land them. I think there might accidentally be another spellcaster selected. There we go. Those Storms finally coming down. The command center. That command center is so low, Maynard.
Oh, I think it's going to go down, Pig. He has not lifted it. The charge lots and the Stalker's just picking it off there. The last few hit points going down. And that's going to be wonderful for Singularity. He's already up in workers, and now with that extra base back at home, if he keeps probing behind this, he's going to be in an incredibly dominant position. And after he's repowered that Forge, those 2 upgrades, like we mentioned, he's going to have a double upgrade advantage in a few seconds here.
He's got to get out of there, though. He's taking out the third right now. He's only got a few Zealots and an Archon. And the thing is, that Terran army, that's a lot of medevacs. They can keep healing forever. So Singularity, I mean, we were talking about popping a fat one before. It looks like, you know, that might have been the other side. Singularity getting a little bit excited. He wants to win the game right now, but he needs to pull home and let that economic advantage kick in.
And it does seem like full mask for both players here. Blood needs to rush back into your brain and make the decisions to try and get the advantage. You got every now and then you just got to take a setback. You know, StarCraft's an extremely fast game. Every now and then you just got to take a second, even just 1 second, to just go, okay, where am I at? What are my resources at? What's the play here? And just try and make that snap decision so quickly. It's a little bit tough.
I mean, you know, when in doubt, pull out is a saying I've heard many times from...
It's very, very important saying.
Believe
so
coined by Artosis, I believe, back in the day, some of his wisdom. You know.
I don't think... the Archon goes down there. And these both ghosts are putting in a little bit of DPS there. Actually, surprisingly all right on A move against Zealots.
Oh man, the Ghosts using Cloak, but unfortunately that means they don't have EMP right now. But this counter push is just so scary. The Lib Siege up at the same time, and Singularity.
I like that better than natural.
Oh man, there's no Storm right now. There's like, one Psy Storm is ready. But yeah, oh no, the probes, Maynard into it. Pulls some probes away, new probes go into it. One Psy Storm needs to be big. Ooh.
That was a pretty good Storm right there. The bio is still pretty healthy, and he's bringing in more Widow Mines. The splits against the Widow Mines from Singularity have not been super convincing, so these Widow Mines are actually a really lovely position, a really lovely addition. And my god, that counterattack from Seratai really turned things into his favor. He's retaken the third base. Actually, it's just his main loaded up in the third base. But he's killed so many probes. And that matters a lot because neither player, I think, has made a worker for quite a while.
There's only 2 Ghosts in there. They're very low on energy. Those High Templar have all just hit Storm. So you know what? Singularity's hanging on. Does desperately need to secure a third. It's going to go for this one. Seratai's going to try and drop around. But you got to be careful with those medevacs. A lot of them deep in the red. If Singularity can get some Storms, then that'll be good. But oh, he's going in the wrong direction right now. It's going to take a bit of damage. That Robo might go down. We'll put an end to any Immortal production for the rest of this game.
Still some Storms available on these High Templar. Looks like 3 of them have got enough energy for some bad weather here. But feedbacks might be a better option. Oh, he just doesn't quite... Oh, whiffs the Storms, unfortunately. And not quite in range for feedbacks on the medevacs. So he gets out of there, does some damage, lifts up most of his army and saves it there in those medevacs. Seratai even has a couple Marauders and a Widow Mine down here. And that's a lot of long-distance mining probes, Pig.
Yeah.
That's what they call a buffet right there. An all-you-can-eat probe buffet down in the south.
Some Marauders and Widow Mines running in there would definitely have a nice time. Some Zealot counterattack going to come in.
Yeah.
Seratai's army's not too far off, but it's not right there. This could do some nice damage. Yeah. Oh, man. Ooh. Zealots do so much damage, man. They need like 3 seconds of that mineral line alone, and it is just a disaster. 11 SCVs going down, and this game's so back and forwards. I love the fact that we're seeing this constant harassment from Singularity. Even going to shift click on some of those SCVs. Nice micro. Says, look, I'm not going to kill those Marines and Marauders. Takes out 3 or 4 more SCVs with some micro. And that knocks the opponent down to 22. You've got your third base coming up now. More Storm coming in. You've got a decent army. It is equal upgrades. This game could still go either way.
It seems like both players are very, very closely matched here, and as a result, we've, you know, even though you know, the handful of elitists out there would be like, oh, you know, it's not Cyril, I don't care. We're actually missing a lot of the magic here. Like, this is a really close match, and I feel like if a StarCraft game is really close, no matter what the skill level, it's actually quite beautiful. It's awesome to see them just go punch for punch. You really cannot call who's going to be the winner, although I'm favoring the Terran here. That army supply is pretty huge. The Ghosts are out front.
Oh, some good EMPs could definitely end this game. Cloak goes down. There's no Observer. Remember, the Robo's gone. He cannot reveal those. There's only 1 Storm left, and a good dodge by Seratai. Pulls back, and then stims in, jumps on top. The shields are gone. Wow.
Well played by Seratai. I mean, it just looked all about Singularity at one point. It looked all of Seratai at one point, but Seratai being the one that's left standing in the end. And that was just like a heavyweight boxing match, man. Just neither player defending each other. They're just beating each other in the face and seeing who falls over first.
Hells yeah, man. The sort of game we love to start things off. Of course, that was the Platinum match. A few people in chat are going, hey, what's the format? So we start at Gold League normally. As we said, there was a forfeit in Gold League all season long because Born Ghost could not field a Gold League player. But that was the Plat match. And then we kind of go up. There's like Diamond 2 and 3. Then there's a Diamond 1 match and so on. Or like it starts at Plat 2 and 3. Then another higher Plat match, etc. Not sure the exact division. Someone in chat can let you guys know. It's all detailed in the !bracket command. Of course, if you type !bracket in chat, check it out on the Wikipedia. But essentially, we're going up. We're starting at Plat. We're working our way up to a Masters League match for the Ace match, which is a best of 3 for the Masters match. The rest are all best of 1. So that ties it up 1-1. And we have got a series on our hand going into the next one.
Pretty hyped to see what happens here. Still in the Platinum era, but no doubt It's going to be a good one. So that ended up with the Born Gosu player getting a point on the board. So I guess that ties it up because they don't have their gold player, right?
That's right.
So 1-1.
Indeed.
Alrighty. I'm just fixing up the scoreboard on my end.
No
I could stream cheat. There we go. I'm actually looking at your stream now. Yeah, it's 1-1.
I'll flip that as well. There we go. Up here in the top left-hand side, representing Taste the Bacon, aka Pig's Pan, it is Teach.
On the bottom right, Born Gosu and going for an early pull. This is a cute snack.
A cute snack. I like it. Nice early pull. Yeah, I mean, this is Cyber Forest, right? Obviously, this is a league that's been going for quite a while. So, obviously, playing last season's map pool, as that is what was played for the majority of the season. And, yeah, an early pull on Cyber Forest is always a good call. Teacher's going to go 17 hatchery. And we're hoping for some either really good drone micro or an immediate spawning pool on 16 going down after that. Either one, it's going to be nice because, excuse me, your opponent is looking to run across with Zerglings. Just slow Zerglings will be starting up in a moment. And they will be looking to cancel the opponent's natural expansion. So those Zerglings starting up for a cute snack and going to go for his own expansion. Their own expansion behind it on the low ground. So just going to look to secure the economic advantage, and we'll keep an eye on how many Zerglings pop in there. Only 6, already going back to droning. So this is a super economic one. Hoping to force a big overreaction. If a cute snack gets the cancel on the natural, that's huge. That is like massive because it's actually quite an economic early pool opening.
Yeah, just like a lot of you guys out there, we do sometimes see this 12 pool gasless build from Zergs, but usually it's like 8 to 10 lings, maybe even a dozen if you really want to kill that natural, which means that, you know, yes, you have an advantage because you usually take a hatchery behind it, but it's not as solid as it's going to be for cute snack. It's already got drones on the way. So let's see how much these 6 lings can do. There's actually, you know, the pool's not done here. Do you drone pool at this point to deal with these lings, or you just wait for your own? The hatchery does have some hit points on it, but I feel like drones need to be involved.
The lings were a little bit delayed, and Teach actually has now, with the supply of that hatchery finishing, had skipped an overlord, gets 2 queens, 8 lings on the way. I think you do need to pull some drones just to buy time. So there we go. Yeah, 7 drones are going to come down. They don't want to commit to the engage. They got to pull back, pull back, pull back. Good quick reaction there by Teach. He's just buying time. He's got to go back in, though. That hatchery getting down. It's at to 500 hit points. The lings are here, though, and that's going to be that. Oh, clean save. 2 worker advantage. Hatchery already finished. 2 queens about to pop. Oh, that is a big advantage for Teach. A very clean defense, and I think just a small delay on the Zerglings.
Really? 0 units lost.
Oh
Absolutely.
my god.
Teach didn't even lose a single thing. So about as good as it could possibly get, and this is in Platinum League. I think that if Teach keeps playing StarCraft 2, won't be in Platinum too much longer. That was a pretty solid hold there. The Overlord on the other side of the map does, you know, want to think about flowing the safety. You know, I mean, I dabbled a little bit into Zerg ladder recently, and constantly losing that scouting Overlord because it just walks right in front of a queen. So, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen here for Teach, as it starts to take a little bit of pepper from that queen there, from a cute snack.
Teach is a bit afraid right now of what the follow-up is. He's going to both lose the Overlord and is going for a very fast wall-off. You can tell he's very nervous. He actually had the freedom to just drone non-stop. So if your opponent goes for an early pull pressure like that, and they've got a fast hatch, they can't really do any sort of all-in follow-up for several minutes. But Teach doesn't seem to realize that, and because of that, he's actually falling way behind in economy. So these Evos and Roach Warren at this game timer seems kind of normal, but you've got to remember, he had to commit to the defense, all these Zerglings early, so really needed to commit to about 10 more workers, then could have gone for this wall-off, and we would have seen a drastic difference in this early game economy. Instead, Acute Snack able to take a big worker advantage. Now, is still behind in the tech, has to just take the gases now, has to catch up, but is definitely still in the game here, and keeping a worker advantage, having a wall off of their own, not a bad situation for the pink Zerg player.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the early game was all Teach, but, you know, dropping all that tech and not droning for a little bit definitely put him back there. His Overlord did see that natural. He knew about it. But just a bit of a misread after a clean defense is unfortunate. Roaches are being made here, so maybe Teach does want to go for something on 2 bases, but yeah, I mean, it has to make it Overlord as well.
It's very all in right now, though. That's the thing. I mean, we've all been excited. Yeah, it's okay, good. Night Swarm goes down. I mean, you've got to go completely on. The problem right now is there's only 1 gas and there's so little mining. Now, this is a powerful attack for Teach, but it's really got a timer on it because you've got so little mining, you've got so little gas, you can only build maybe 4 or 5 more roaches. You're going to have to actually rally slow Zerglings into this if you really want to commit and bring your queens. What's working, though, is look at that. Queen moving towards the 3rd base. Oh, no, don't drop that 3rd snack. Don't drop the 3rd, no! Double
Ouchies.
upgrades and a third base versus a 20-worker opponent. I mean, it's the last thing you expect. The Zerglings at the front.
These Overlords. No, there's no third, too, from the Cute Snacks Overlords.
Those Lings see the mineral line. That'll be big. Oh, the Queen gets the block off. They can't get in.
Oh,
I mean, the lava sitting at the
man.
natural might be a tell, but usually you don't notice that. Even high-level players miss the lava a lot of the time. And I think right now, I mean, a few roaches start up, but... Oh, that's not going to be enough. That Nidus Worm's about to go down. The Overlord spotting in the main base. Yeah, this is about to dial up the heat to 100 very quickly.
All right, well, the Nidus in the main is definitely going to be horrifying here. There is enough roaches from Acute Snack to actually stop the Nidus, but he needs to see it. And I don't know if he will.
It's taking a bit too long to pull the trigger on this, though. The roaches are popping out. Where's that Nidus Worm? Teach here, I think, a little bit nervous in this high-pressure match. He's got to drop it right now. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
If 1-1 finishes, that's going to be so hard to stop. Oh, no.
Well, he's loading up the butthole. The roaches are getting in there. We just need the head to start to raise somewhere. I mean, the main is definitely the best spot to do it. He's selected the Overlord. He's selecting it.
No, 1-1's
There it
finished.
is.
Look at this ball of roaches for Snack. Snack's just being given too much time. I mean, we've actually got more roaches for Snack. Oh, this is going to be so hard for Teach to win. It's all about the positioning. It's going to need an amazing concave, but 1-1 kicking in. 7 more drones on the way. Snack has no idea what's happening. But can lose 20 drones and still be up in this game. Let's see. The Queen's coming in. Lots of transfuse energy. Those units getting choked up, trying to get back through the natural wall. Will they be able to get here? Holding the top of the ramp. A nice position for Teach.
Yeah, that's actually very, very nice. And with these Queens, if he can transfuse, this is going to be very, very nice. It's going to be his way to be able to hold this, or rather hold the main of his opponent, because he's trying to kill him right now from within. Not many transfusions coming down from those Queens. The roaches from Acute Snack still pretty high in count here.
Yeah.
He's coming on in. There's that 20 drones you were talking about. They went down.
The 20 drones did go down, but remember those 1-1 upgrades are still here. 15 more roaches in production, and Acute Snack shuts it down. Yeah, you lost 20 workers to the Lings in the main, but it doesn't matter. You've got a gigantic roach army. Teach is going to keep trying here, but without roach speed, without Ling speed, you're rallying slow Zerglings into Nidus Worms against someone who has 26 1-1 roaches. Acute Snack has got so much stuff right now.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do here as Teach? I guess you keep going for it, but the problem is he's up against a bigger army that's better upgraded and a better economy. He has absolutely no advantage right now, apart from the fact that he can load his units into a Nidus Worm and load them out of a Nidus Worm. That's about it.
Uh-oh, the roaches are going to get that fight. That's a good fight for Snack. Any fight's a good fight right now. Teacher's got to get out of there, but there's no way to escape. He doesn't have roach speed.
Yeah, it seems like this one might be done and dusted, depending on how Teach feels about this engagement. You know, maybe he thinks that there's an option, but if we look at everything with our caster god cams and all the numbers here, it does look pretty dire, to say the least. Acute Snack making even droning right now. I think that's the right call. You know, he's got a good number of roaches. I think you just go across the map, knock on the front door of your opponent, say, hello, how's it going? Do you mind if I raid your fridge? Just put your feet up on their freshly oiled dining room table.
Do a Kramer.
Dirty shoes. Yep.
Pull a Kramer. That's the Cosmo right there. And yeah, I don't think Teach is going to have anything to say about it, man. He's going to be a bit of a pushover, Seinfeld style, you know? He's going to be like, all right, come eat my cereal, man. Walk into my house unannounced all the time.
Yeah, just light up one of my cigars, dude. Help yourself, you know?
Yep.
You want some of my $2,000 whiskey? Yeah, absolutely. I was saving it for when I had a kid, but by all means.
Good attempt to hold here, but the numbers, you know, do not lie. It's just so much stuff here for Snack. And Teach here, I like the idea of the Nidus Worm, but unfortunately, after a fantastic hold in the early game, we just didn't see enough drones come out. We saw a super all-in attack, but the trigger was not pulled fast enough. And Snack able to get out a third base, 1-1 upgrades, and a monster of roaches. What do we call a pack of roaches?
A pack of roaches?
Yeah, probably a pack. Is that actually a name for like the insect? A swarm, I guess?
I'd say a swarm. I'd say...
an infestation?
I'll Google it. What is a pack of roaches?
Chat says it's an infestation. I'm not sure. Some say a fist. No, it's only it's a fist of immortals when the fist of Neeb strikes, but I don't know if it's a fist of roaches. It's a game time of roaches. I like that.
Okay, intrusion apparently is the word.
An intrusion.
An intrusion.
That's awesome.
A group of cockroaches is the collective noun for cockroaches is an intrusion.
Damn.
Wow. Why don't they just... I don't understand why the English language just decides to have a different word for all these things. It's so confusing. Like a murder of crows.
I know. they're not evil. Once I saw a crow mess up a little bird that was annoying it. But the little bird was annoying it first. It got what was coming, man. So I was on the side of the crow. It wasn't a murder, it was self-defense. A self-defense of crows. I guess it doesn't have the same ring to it. All right. Touche, naming person from the 18th century. Anyways, let's dive into this game. It is, of course, an advantage now for these monsters up here in the top left-hand side. The Born Gosu crew. And in the top left, hopefully not getting into this game prematurely, it is the fetus.
Let's hope he stays in that womb till he's ready. And in the bottom right here, in the pink, it is Pink Floyd.
Good color choice.
Team, you're easy AF. Nice. Confidence.
So I believe this would be one of our players who's playing cross server, who's either in the EU clan playing on NA, or is in the NA clan but playing on EU. Yes, representing Taste the Bacon, of course, Pink Floyd.
And the Taste the Bacon clan, your clan, Pig, looking to tie up the series here with Born Gosu, once again find themselves with a game advantage. Born Gosu's had some pretty crazy finals. I mean, thankfully this isn't some of the earlier finals we had in CTL. Luckily we cast all the replays no matter what, but some of the earlier finals we had in CTL is it's just been like Born Gosu 4-0. they've had some complete whitewashes, but this this series rather, already, some scores on the board from both sides.
Yeah, I do remember another team that was very dominant once was it SC Swarm had won finals where they won like 4-1 or something like that, where they were just so many sick timing attacks, right? It was like lots of good Ravager Ling rushes and Nidus Worms, and I was like, oh man, Zerg Cheese looks really OP. And you watch SC Swarm play, like I'm like, damn, they took a lot of wins with it. But this is a big map. Thunderbird, even though it's last season's map pool, this is kind of more in the theme of the current map pool. Big map, lots of late game, lots of drop and liberator harassment and that sort of stuff kind of often coming out. I've even been playing people who've been trying to go carriers against me, like when I'm playing TVP on this map. Like people just do odd styles here.
Damn, it's like they want you to win when they make carriers.
I'm like, don't need an excuse to mass Marines, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's like, let me just switch gears out of massing Marines into massing Marines. So the Reaper from Pink Floyd, I like what he's doing here. He's dotting his I's and crossing his T's and dotting his lowercase J's with this Reaper, making sure that there's no proxy. He's actually very close to seeing this pro.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get vision, barely. That probe is like, oh, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, and he misses it. At least it's not a cheeky probe. I mean, it looks like it's just going home, right? Twilight Council up at home, Stalkers. It looks like a blink opening. Pretty standard stuff.
Does indeed. The Reaper is tussling with it. Oh, he's actually getting a little bit fresh with that.
He's got to run right. He's got to run right.
Kill it.
Oh, you got to run.
He's going the wrong way.
Yeah, you have to run to the right to jump up the cliff. Whenever a shade's chasing you, you've got to find the closest cliff, and that's the only cliff on this map is there, because you can't jump up any of these middle areas on this map. There's like not very many Reaper ledges at all on this map. It really is just that little jump up.
Which is also the theme of the current map pool.
No more new repugnancy euthermal 7 racks Reaper with 1-1 upgrades, and he's taking another 12 barracks and still only building Reapers, man.
Man, it's like there's like I remember the first time I played World of Sleepers. I'm like attacking my opponent, and I'm like, where do I put my tanks? There's nowhere for them. I'm like, geez, man. I'm like, I mean, if they attack me in this random pocket of the base, in this random pocket of the map, I've got a really good tank position. So we got this Adept from the Fetus trying to get into the main base and have a bit of a scout there, just using the shade, so not throwing that unit away. And this is a pretty standard opening here from Pink Floyd for the 3 racks. The +1 attack, a little bit more solid of a 3 racks, I would say, than the first one we saw.
Yeah,
with the +1 being well timed out.
Good SCV production as well. Like you see here, hits 46 supply block, but it hasn't halted any production, and the depot finishes. That's the sort of stuff that any true StarCraft player who's played a lot of StarCraft in their life watching gets excited every time they see that. They're like, oh, hits a supply block, doesn't actually block anything, gets on supply block. It's like there's this beautiful synergy. This depot timing has been very nice so far. Keeps queuing them up, hitting the Marine production. The factory is a little bit, it usually goes down about now.
So I think, usually 50-ish supply. You want to get that factory and then take an extra gas or 2, depending on what you want to go for. But the idea here is to have, that 3 racks is a timing attack, but it's not an all-in. You have like a factory and a starport afterwards to be able to heal up whatever units are remaining. Hopefully you do have units remaining.
We do see
But,
the third CC actually going down before the
right.
factory, so it's going to be more of just like non-stop bio on the ground here. I like the response from Fetus. Fetus says, look, this is just a ground poundy gigantic push of bio. Let's go straight charge. Don't even bother with Blink. I'm just going to get out some Observer's Vision. A pack of... Oh, actually did get Blink first as well. Oh, okay. It's just a very fast charge right after Blink. And then is trying to go... Ooh, double Forge might be a little bit too much, though. Good micro on the front, though. The Fetus getting this Adept out. Nice. Just stims 2 Marines, does Pink Floyd. I love that. Observer sees these Marines coming. The Stalkers are going to have to try to slow this down because there's only 3 gateways of production, which means you can't really build a lot of Zealots right now. Oh, bit of miscontrol on both
one
sides.
Stalker's going to go down. Yeah, I mean, with Blink Stalkers, you can definitely, shave into the Marines and blink back and that sort of thing, but they do have stims, so things like this are a little bit scary. Luckily, he doesn't have Marauders with Concussive Shell. That would definitely be a different story here. Yeah. Yeah, just pure Marines. And with these Stalkers out, pushing him back and shaving into that Marine count already, Pink Floyd's feeling like, my units are already stimmed, they're already damaged. By the time we get to the natural, I'm probably not going to get a whole lot done, so he's going to pull back.
Main base of Pink Floyd, by the way. Look at that. I just realized, look at this misclick in the main. Oh, those SCVs weren't mining for a really long time on that mineral line.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Also hasn't fully saturated his gas in the main base, and does definitely want that because medevacs are super important right now. And also, getting double upgrades, extra engineering bay, armory, all that sort of stuff. So gas is very, very important. Sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I like to take the gases immediately at the third base, but you can end up floating a little bit. We'll see what Pink Floyd ends up doing here.
Armory's going down now, and I do like that the upgrades have continued off the single eBay. The great thing about this opening is you can, by 7 minutes, basically have 1-1 finished off a single eBay. And you can kind of stay single eBay all game because your upgrade starts so early. And now that medevacs are coming out, all these bruised Marines will start getting healed up in the near future. 5 barracks are up, the add-ons are going down. I mean, that Pervy boy, like, I'm sure all the Terran players have the same feeling as me watching, and they're like, kill it! But it's such an odd spot to scan. So that Observer's probably going to get to see like all of the tech coming out all game long, I would imagine. And there's even another one on the very front of the base. So, I mean, that's the one I always build a turret kind of out front my rally point because I know there's an Observer sitting there, and I hate that Observer so much because it sees everything I do, man.
I should start doing that because I call that the Maynarde Observer, the one that sits over my army the entire game, and I lose, and I'm wondering why. Oh my god, by the way, I was just following the Fetus's Blink Stalkers back to the main base. Look at how many charge lots he's getting right now. He's making Immortals too, getting 1-1. I can't actually tell if he's looking to try and defend something that he thinks is coming, or if he wants to go for a big attack. I guess without a Prism, it's probably just defending. But that's so many charge lots.
Robotics Bay goes down. And the thing is, there was a scan on them as well. So if as Pink Floyd, I'd be trying to build a lot of Widow Mines here to counter that. But double Robo Colossus, which is like really good versus Widow Mines as well. So this is kind of like, the counters to the counters exist. And in fact, it's going to be a faster second starport and going right up to 6 gas for Pink Floyd. So I think Pink Floyd, with 3 more barracks as well, probably going to go just like a gigantic bio-lib army, I would imagine. And with such a nice Marine count from the early game, that's actually really important. Until Colossus are on the field, if your Marines, unless they get like surrounded, they gun down Zealots really well. Like Marauders can tank damage, but they really just do not kill Zealots. Like Marauders take forever to kill Zealots. 50 Marines though, they will gun down Zealots so quickly. Yeah. So right now, I think a fight would actually kind of favor Pink Floyd. The question is, how do you force that? Your opponent's up a ramp with force fields. You can't really go out there. And it's only a matter of time until those Colossus get out, which is going to turn that equation upside down. Yeah,
very, very Marine heavy, like you mentioned. And when these Marines go up against a couple of Colossi, they don't last too long. So the Stalkers do see the bias moving through the middle of the map here, or at least, trying to keep the Stalkers away from his infrastructure. I'm not sure what these Stalkers are hoping to achieve. Maybe like getting a medevac or something. But yeah, they're flirting with the devil here. They're going to be in too much danger if they stick around too much longer. So Pink Floyd he's sick of tussling with this snake path in the middle of Thunderbird. He wants to knock down the rocks and just have a straight direct path to his opponent. It's a little double-edged sword though. That's usually where you want to take your 4th, and that means the Protoss can also attack from several paths at once as well. 2-2 starting very quickly here for Pink Floyd, which I'm pleased to see.
I'm not too sure about this attack, though. Yeah, Colossus are just out now, even though it's just 1 with Force Fist. I don't think you can force a fight as Pink Floyd here. I don't mind the move out to kind of threaten and deny a 4th, But what I'm worried about is that he wants to go range libs, but he didn't have the gas. So he's forgotten the, I think he tried to click it and didn't have the gas for the advanced ballistics. And you can't force a fight up that ramp. So I think Pink Floyd needs to be very patient. This is just the Thunderbird way. If your opponent wants to sit up on 3 base, you really cannot force them to engage you. And it's looking scary. I think Pink Floyd needs to leave. At this point, you've got multiple Colossus. You're on an almost pure Marine army. You've missed your timing, and you need to wait until you've got 7 or 8 Liberators, and then suddenly it's good for you again. But until that point, it's very dangerous. I think at any moment, Fetus could go down here, and with 42 Charge Zealots against 1-1 and 2 Colossus, this is a crushing engagement. Oh,
and he knows it all too well as well. He knows his upgrades are done, and he wants to fight the Terran, and the Terran's unfortunately getting to him. Oh, he's stuck against the minerals!
Oh, no! Oh, he ran into the pocket! He ran into the pocket! No! Oh, no! Pink Floyd is in trouble right now. A massive engagement for Fetus. His Liberators aren't quite in the numbers that he needs just yet. Needs to get home and wait for those libs. Once again, he's going around another corner with his bio. Does wear down a lot of Zealots with really good stutter step, but the army supply is at double for the Fetus, and every stim cannot really be healed right now. Needs to pull back to the ramp and try to hold on with Liberators, but this whole army is being toasted. The Liberators keep rallying out into the middle of the map. Needs to get back to a ramp. Cannot hold that position. And it just looks like the Fetus 2-2 Zealots Colossus is such a good Marine chomping army. When you've got a 2-upgrade advantage, that is an impossible fight. There was no way Pink Floyd could have won that engagement.
Dude, for an underdeveloped human being that's still in the oven, he is very good at Protoss.
Yeah, I mean...
Very, very solid call.
They do say you are, you know, they have actually done studies. Babies are able to 1A, even in the womb. And that is, of course, how they test.
In the womb, you just have a keyboard with F10, the N key, and also the A key. And that's pretty much all you need.
Really good macro there, though. With I like that. Just mass charge zealots keeps you so safe. Good upgrades, you know, and the upgrade timings were nice. And I loved the sitting up the ramp until the multiple Colossus got out. Really lovely move from the Fetus. And the Fetus looking good. I mean, is that 3-1?
That's match point for Born Gosu, mate.
Oh, shizzle fizz. All right. Damn.
Oh, man. Furious Styles, shout out to you in the chat for saying unborn Gosu. I think that's actually the best thing we could have possibly said about the Fetus just now. You should be commentating this game, not me.
Nah, man. For everyone watching, by the way, as well, just a little shout out to CTL. I know we've got some CTL admins and mods in chat. I'd really love you guys to post some links to your league. Also, people who are from clans who'd like to recruit some new players. I know a lot of the CTL teams are always looking for new Gold League players, Silver League players, because the people like Born Gosu, they couldn't field a player in Silver or Gold all season. Part of the problem is usually when people get involved in team leagues, they improve so quickly. And they move up to Platinum and then Diamond and that sort of stuff. But, you know, this is why we always like to bring new people in and fill out those. So anyone, please link up your clan websites. Let people know, you know, where they can sign up to your Discords and chat to you guys. So anyone who's interested in playing, just a heads up on how CTL works. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to play. I don't want to join a clan. I don't want to join a guild with a bunch of nerds eating Doritos. And I can't
I'm a lone wolf.
I can't practice 5 hours a night. Like, yeah, I'm not a nerd. Instead, I sit on the ladder with no friends ever, and I play on my own 3 hours a night without ever talking to anybody. Guys, it's the same thing as joining a football club to play on the weekend. It's just so much more fun when you've got a competition to play with some mates. You guys can all watch each other's games, help each other improve. Play practice games. It's easy then because you got, you're in gold. The diamond player in your team's happy to play some matches with you, give you some pointers. It's just a good way to get involved in the community, have some fun. And if your schedule's busy, it doesn't matter because you schedule your match directly with your opponent. You don't have to meet at a setup time. So it's not like making a commitment to play soccer every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. You literally just message your opponent, figure out a good time for you to both meet up and figure it out. So CTL is amazing. It's the biggest StarCraft 2 minor league, says SiegeLink. There's a lot of others as well. Absolutely. There's a ton of other amateur leagues. So you guys, for other amateur leagues, please do feel free to advertise. I know there's ATL, all sorts of other things that go on as well. You guys can all advertise that because I think StarCraft is just so much better when you actually play with friends, get involved in the community. And I think just playing on your own it can be a very frustrating, depressing game because it's complicated. It's a hard game, man.
It is. And like you mentioned at the beginning of that was these players, they get promoted too fast. If you're out there and you're like, oh, I can't reach the next level and all I do is ladder by myself, well, this could mean the difference between, staying at that, you're not being able to break that glass ceiling that you're trying to break into that next league and just shooting through those leagues faster than faster than you can expect. I'm actually making a video on ladder anxiety right now, which has been taking me a painfully long time to do because I'm a perfectionist, unfortunately. But the Chobo Team League is one of the main things I bring up as one of the ways to get over ladder anxiety, because if you just practice with a clan full of people, you don't even need to ladder. And when you finally get around to laddering, you're so much more confident because of that offline custom practice. And also you have a group of people to not only vent to, but just talk to about strategy.
Exactly.
So you're not alone. You have so many resources available to you if you're a part of a clan, part of a league.
It's like how we often make fun of people who hop in our chats as streamers and we go, and they're like, oh, Protoss is Imba. And we make a lot of fun of them. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, guys, everyone gets frustrated that StarCraft or any competitive game complains about balance at some point. It's just so much more healthy when you can do it to your mate in a Discord group or a Skype group, where he's going to be like, yeah, man, I know it's friggin' rough. And then he might give you a piece of advice here or there. As opposed to going onto Reddit and making a thread complaining. And there'll be people like, oh, get good scrub. Or you'll go into Twitch chat, people tell you to shut up. And it's just so much better to complain to people who actually know what you're talking about. Speaking of which, we need to get into this game because that is a very early gas and pool there. Yes, up here in the top left, it's Born Gosu's Coec looking to close out the series. And who's down here in the bottom right, Maynard?
With the cheesy build here, it's Mechanics representing Taste the Bacon.
Sort of's love child. A little Bergman here.
Yeah.
And that's been scouted.
One of my favorite nicknames in the pro scene.
I'm just waiting for us to make the full feature film where it's like the Birdman film, but it's just yeah, sort of.
I'm looking forward to the Netflix special. The Netflix documentary of the boy with the mechanics. That'll be my favorite.
So Zealot's coming out very early. Good wall off here for Coax. Second pylon at the front. Really respecting this. Not taking a second gas. Is that Zealot going to be out in time? Ooh! They're going to get in! Uh-oh. If they get the surround, Run,
this
Zealot!
Might be a quick one.
Oh, this is going to be tough. Probes being pulled, but only 3. That's not enough. You need to pull all of them. No. This is tough for Coac. Oh, God,
there is a second pylon at least, but I think the north one is actually out of range. Like, if he depowers this gateway...
I think that depowers it as well. That pylon just out of range. Oh, no. And only 3 more probes coming. Coac, just not quite ready.
No, that actually is helping the Zerg.
Oh, damn.
GG. All right, well, no 4-1. Pigpan does fight back, but your clan is so dirty, pig.
What can I say?
From your Star-Lord streams.
Florencio did. I was at Montreal for a few weeks, and Florencio subbed in as the mascot of Taste the Bacon. Normally, I'm the mascot. I'm there. I'm like, yeah, let's macro. Yeah. Oh, proper reactions. Went ahead, get more ahead. But Florencio took over.
I can't believe any tryhard would actually say things like that.
I know. So you can see, obviously, Flo's influence a little bit different to mine. Florencio was running around just throwing taco cheese at people. And, like, he had, like, one of those big, like, the squeezy tube thing that shoots out, like, the liquid yellow Taco Bell cheese. And he was just, like, squeezing that into people. He's like, cheese, everybody! And apparently it's had some impact there. Mechanics, GG, thank you, my man. Brings it a bit closer. That's a 3-2 advantage for Born Gosu. 1 game off tying it up here as we go into the next one.
Hey man, a win is a win. I always say, there's I play fighting games and I play StarCraft 2, and there's a lot of cheap things you can do in both games, but they may feel cheap, but they're legitimate. They are tools in the game that the game has given you, and if you use them to get a win, then that's as a win is a win, as I keep saying. But in the top left here, looking to try and tie things up. If he wins this one, he will. It is the Wobulator.
And down here in the bottom right, in the green, representing Born Gosu, his Terran opponent, it's Lizard Kingly.
A lot of TVPs in this matchup.
Yeah, it's actually been kind of cool. We've seen so much Zerg in the past with SC Swarm matches and stuff. It's cool to have a mix. And I've actually got a bit of backstory on Wobulator here. Started this week, we actually cast a best of 7 between Wobulator and another Zerg player from Taste the Bacon, who they fought each other 7 games in a row on this map to see who got to play this match. So I actually cast that. It was a bunch of really fun kind of back and forth PvZ series. Just Acropolis, PvZ over and over. Wobulator ended up winning like 4-3 or something. It was super close, if I remember correctly. So it was really cool to see Wobulator come through. And Wobulator's, I believe Cheesy Boy would be an apt description of Wobulator. He's always like, pig, I'm not cheesy. And I'm like, you play a lot like an early Heart of the Swarm Protoss Wobulator. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, your third Nexus doesn't go down very often. You like sentries, you like immortals, you like 8 gateways, you know.
The old what is a third Protoss player? Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, and there are people flying the flag for that kind of style at the highest level. One of my favorites who I met and became fast friends with at WCS in Ukraine was Puppy Joe. Danish Protoss is just an absolute madman. And, you think you've got the most horrifying cheese, Florencio cheese. There's another guy out there called Hurt One, who's like the Florencio apprentice that sometimes looks even more crazier than Florencio. Puppy Joe actually, he does all those things, but at WCS.
Oh, yeah.
It's like legitimate players.
I think he beat like Harstem or something at Montreal. He beat someone like, I think it was Harstem in the PvP. It was like, what the hell, man?
Zerg, I forgot the name of, but he just like it was on this map actually, just build 4 gateways, no gas at all. He didn't even build a probe. He just built a pylon, 4 gateways, and rallied in zealots. Slow zealots.
Nice. Good
Puppy
recall
Joe,
there
my
by
man.
Wobulator. I really like players like that as well, because like I didn't really know Puppy Joe. I'd heard the name, but I didn't know his style before that tournament. And then like we'd be hanging out at the desk, and Roddy'd be like refreshing Wikipedia, and he'd just get that like really infectious, just mad cackling laugh that Roddy has. He's like, Puppy Joe just messed this guy up, man. He's just laughing. He's like, oh, this is insane. He was just having so much fun seeing Puppy just smash his way through those brackets. And I was immediately like, oh, I know this guy's a memer. If he gets this reaction from Roddy every time he wins a series, like he gets to really good players. So let's see what we can see. Now, it is PvT, obviously more prone to seeing a third base in this matchup. But Wobulator, yeah, I feel like his real strength in tournaments and show matches and things they see in players goes into every series with a very tight plan. Really, like you feel like he knows what he's going to do before the game. Very rarely kind of gets lost on the fly. You don't see him hesitate too much. Sometimes, that can be a downfall. You commit to a timing attack, it's not the right time, and it doesn't look very good. But it also means there's moments where he's just so decisive, hits his build really tight, commits at the right time, and sometimes he just gets very clean, easy wins. So keen to see how he goes up against Lizard Kingly, who's I've seen before. I definitely have seen Lizard Kingly, but I can't remember the exact style that he plays.
I mean, so far it looks pretty standard. A second barracks coming up, nice and early here, but that usually comes after you get the Widow Mines. That factory's usually a tech lab maker, because you do want to have 3 Raxes and you want to have those 2 like tech labs to get stim and combat shield and whatnot. Yeah. Wobulator, for a cheesy boy, is playing pretty normal at the moment, although he has stopped probing, and is just
34.
making units.
Yeah, it could just be they'll restart in a second, just wants to get the Stalkers out on time, or whatnot. But only 34
Maybe
probes, not a large amount. Yeah, we'll have to see exactly how that goes, as it isn't a fully saturated natural. The Stalkers, though, getting some damage, and this is why I always prefer to put those Widow Mines out on the map if you skip the bunker. Lizard Kingly being a little bit greedy, skipping the bunker. We've really seen this sort of Stalker pressure at the front die off, and that's why a lot of players are skipping that bunker at the moment, but I think it's going to be punished very hard. Wobulator coming in right now, and those Marines don't stand a chance, man. Blink might not be done, but you don't need it to be done. Wobulator going, oh wait, there's no bunker? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, this is why Terrans have been getting blind bunkers in this matchup for the most part. This is just way too hard to hold. And even if that front door was down, Blink is just seconds away from done. Wobulator walks straight in. We got another player just putting his feet up on the dining room table, cracking open one of his vintage wines, and just helping himself to everything in his house.
It's fondue party right here, man. Right. Wobulator, it looked like a pretty solid build, but he ends up just smashing him in the face. Widowmine drop's going to go in on the other side. It's going to get a couple of juicy hits. 8 probes go down, but I mean, you got 6 Stalkers in your main. This is this is rough, man.
Yeah, and also this medevac isn't boosting away, so it looks like he might pay the ultimate price here. Those Stalkers have got Blink now. They can chase that down for show. There
Nicely done.
And that was all Lizard Kingly had going for him here.
He's trying to group up Marines away from the Stalkers. Oh, no.
No stim. I mean, he is going to have a siege tank, but that thing's going to be right on top of, 7 Blink Stalkers. 6 Blink Stalkers.
He does keep some SCVs alive. Oh, that tank and Raven both very low, but just pulling back does Wob. And I mean, Wob's already done so much damage here. Is building 3 more gateways behind this. Hasn't probed up at all or taken a third, so it's not like, he's going to the macro game, but does he need to? He's basically got 3 times the Terran's economy right now. If he can get the tank on sieges. Oh no, the Stalkers. Is he going to the Raven as well? No. No. Okay.
Oh well, I mean, look, there's another 6 Stalkers showing up. Remember how much the first 6 did? Well, now there's 6 more. Now there's 9. So
I believe that's an oh no, Maynard.
I believe that's an put your IPIG oh no's in the chat, please, because this is a big oh no here for the Terran. I mean, it is hard to look good when something like that just happens. I'm sure Lizard Kingly's a very solid Terran, but stuff like that can just happen. You just miss a bunker, and then it just snowballs. It just happens. Happens all the time on Twitch TV Maynard. You want to see someone die like that to a Protoss 7 times in a row, please click follow. On Monday to Fridays, I do lose games quite abysmally, just like that.
You know what's that's actually so funny as well, because I mean, if you think about it, even if there was one Widow Mine out front, the 4 Marines could handle the Stalker and he'd be able to get the bunker up before the other Stalkers come. So it's like, even if just the Widow Mine was burrowed out front of the base, like that could have totally been fine for Lizard Kingly. So that's one of those ones you go, it's kind of funny. I feel like in these high tense tournament situations, like there's a lot of games where this happens, where it's like, silly mistake, lost me this map, that's such a shame. and really, you don't get to play your game. And that's the brutality of a best of one sometimes. So that ties up the series though, which is bloody exciting, because that means we are getting to the Masters League Ace match.
Yeah, and is that a best of 3 still? Is that still
That's right? Best of 3 to decide the whole thing. So we're going to use the best of 3 scoreboard rather than the overall scoreboard, since both teams are tied at 3-3 apiece. And we're going to go into map 1 here. It is between EMC2 and Caterno. Oh my god, I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man. And in true fashion for Taste the Bacon, all since the round of 6, they've gone down to the ace match in every single match. The round of 6, semifinals, and now the finals as well is no different. And this is exciting, man. Boy, I haven't seen this map in a while. In the bottom left, this is Pigpan's hero, the last remaining warrior, EMC2.
What a beast. And up here in the top right-hand side, a monster within his own rights. This is, of course, a Masters match going, as we've steadily seen a build-up of the level of these players throughout this tournament. In the top right, in the red, representing Born Gosu, it's Caterno.
Oh, it's just always that little bit extra magical when it goes down to the final map. This is really exciting. I'm actually starting to get a little bit wiggly and jiggly pig. I didn't think that was would happen. I'm barely post-coffee here, but I'm already feeling that StarCraft hype rip into my veins.
Hells yeah, man.
The heart rate's getting up there. I'm getting excited here. Even though I have literally no interaction or like... I have no biases whatsoever in this match. I'm just enjoying the good StarCraft.
Hells yeah, dude. And a big shout out once again, guys, if you'd like to get involved in CTL or any amateur leagues, please do sign up some of those Discords and chat. If we get another round of all the admins and people linking up the CTL Discord, some of your other team league Discords, we just really want to promote the amateur scene, let people know that StarCraft is like one of the most true esports out there, where, even if there was no support from Blizzard, there would be so many amateur leagues, so many pro tournaments being sponsored by passionate people, because everyone just, we love this game. We're one of the most hardcore communities. So get in there and, sign up.
I had this conversation on my stream not long ago where someone was talking about, what if the worst of the worst happens and, the big company like Blizzard pulls funding from WCS or something like that. And I'm just like, I'm obviously there's no world where that isn't a massive blow to the game, but absolutely. I actually have not seen a community put their money where their mouth is more than the StarCraft community. Home Story Cup donation runs every time, tens of thousands of euros. I mean, people have way more subscribers than they do viewers because of the amount of people that actually support the streamer. There's actually just so many people that just dump cash into this game and into the streamers because they just want this game to be around forever. They want the streamers to be around forever. And it's I've never seen any other esport, any other game have that kind of turnaround, that per capita support.
Exactly. The number of players as well, like the number of people who I coach or hang out in my channel or will tweet at me asking a strategy question. And whenever I, have a bit of back and forth, it's like the number of people who are like, oh, I'm a 45-year-old, dad with a bloody super crazy CEO career, and I have 3 kids and a busy social life, but I still try to practice 5 hours every week because I love this game. Like, it's just really cool how many, driven people we have playing this game, and the number of super successful people in their different fields who've either started as StarCraft players when they're younger or just love the game and play it as a hobby. It is crazy. Like, a lot of my old clan mates who don't play much anymore or occasionally come back, whenever I chat to them, they're like, oh yeah, I have like this amazingly successful business, like selling, laptops or computers or running an IT consultancy. It's just cool. We have the best community out there, guys. So the more you get involved, trust me, it's a great way to actually surround yourself with awesome people. And I learn a lot from everybody. So thank you, everybody, for being part of the awesome community. And let's get into casting this match. Fast OV speed from Caterno.
And no Archon drop from EMC2. Very old school PVZ, very vanilla, basic PVZ here. I nearly said the the nasty way of saying basic, but trying to be PC here for the most part.
Really, like,
That
wall
said, we
off.
did make a bunch of fetus jokes.
Oh, I mean, they were.
And pulling out jokes, so maybe, maybe we're just too late on that.
There was like eight boner jokes in 1 minute on that neuropugnancy earlier. Like,
this is what Ping and Maynard sound like when they're casting together and they're not wearing a suit.
yeah, I'm just saying, guys. Like, you keep asking for our joint voice pack. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be allowed in a big corporations game.
An unchained Australian duo announcer pack. I mean, I feel like we'd probably sell a few units, but Blizzard are pretty intent on trying not to offend anyone, and yeah, whoopsie. But yeah, so the Archon drop about to kick in. We've got the Prism going through the middle of the map here. It's going to be the DT version. Lair is already halfway done, and there's a Roach Warren coming out for Quaterno as well. So Quaterno's actually like super ready for anything.
The drone count, though, is a little low. So what worries me is, like, you've got all the tech. Are you going to build enough Roaches? I think so. Because Roaches start up now before the DTs have warped in. So it should be... Oh, he's going to go straight for the main. Oh, it's a big boy warp in. Oh, the Queens aren't there. Quaterno's like, what? You're not meant to do that. The Roaches aren't out yet. He could just click on that Spore Crawler. Oh, he's going to go for the Queen first. 4 DT hits to kill a Queen. She goes down. Oh, this might just be a game when EMC2 goes straight for the drones. Oh, no. Oh, no, runs away.
Okay, he doesn't want to lose any of the DT there or take too much damage on the Prism. I guess he's a little bit worried there. I mean, pulling back and getting the Archons is the safer play, for sure. Yeah,
it's not a bad play. To be honest, I think it's one of those things where you're macroing right now, and he wants to just make sure he builds everything at home. He's going for a third base, etc. And sometimes you don't notice the lair. So you think, oh, I mean, even if I kill the Spore and his Overseer's about to come in, because you're so used to that Overseer always being ready. But if he'd actually been really quick, he could have realized, wait, the lair is just finishing in front of me. He can't have even started an Overseer, could have stayed there, clicked on the lair after the Spore. Could have been a bit more annoying. Nonetheless, though, a great opening. A Queen, a handful of drones, third base is on the way, second Robo, Forge. It's still a really nice macro setup. And if you're macroing this well behind it, you don't have pressure on you to be doing damage. So EMC2 is kind of playing the, I want to stay in control. I don't want to get too excited. I want to just steer. Small focus of APM bursts on microing some harassment, go home and do macro. Never overcommit. So he's playing the very conservative style of PvZ harassment.
Yeah, he's got an Observer with the Archons as well, which is when you start to eliminate the creep spread of the Zerg. Does have a little bit of creep carpet to pull back on. He's going to lose the Observer, but Prism does stay alive. But without the Observer, like I mentioned, you can't get rid of that creep, which would, there's a lot of creep trimmers down to the south, where it looks like Quaterno wants to take his fourth base. That EMC2 could have done a lot of creep damage on. Oh, these Queens are still chasing. EMC2 sees it, though. Okay, he's still got that Prism hotkey. What a good lad. Quaterno going for the Spire here. Now, this... I wonder if he's going to go for a big Muta switch. He is taking all of his gases. So maybe, yeah. But sometimes we see Zergs just get like half a dozen Mutas to shut down the Prism and then go back into a ground army. So, wondering what we see here.
Templar Archives is going down, more gateways going down, so it's going to be going up to, I think, just 6 gateways for now is EMC2. Charge +1. I mean, I feel like against this, if you just make a few Archons and a round of Zealots and attack as these Mutas come out, it's almost like a straight-up win move, because Quaterno's taken some damage early. Like, is that an okay economy now? But 9 Roaches versus 3 Immortals, 2 Archons. We're looking at an almost identical economy and a far superior Protoss army right now. And that... Oh, sees the Spire! Sees the Spire! That, I really would love to see him just pull the trigger on that. The question is, I mean, we saw the Spire. Did he see the Spire, right, Maynard?
Yeah, sorry, but did he see it? Like, is that a Spore Crawler? Sometimes it's hard to know. I mean, there's been a few times in my StarCraft adventure where I've been like, I see a thing that I think's a pylon, but it's actually a Dark Shrine. I'm like, oh, that's the slowest building pylon I've ever seen. Just because of its footprint. You got to click on it. So we do see those Mutas are on the way. Okay, now he sees the Spire 100%. Surely.
Someone just said Maynard's a little loud. Sorry, guys. I lowered him.
Myself.
Oh, I lowered you slightly as well. So, yep.
Yeah, I dropped myself as well.
I think it should have been fine, or we would have had more complaints about it anyway. I purposely cranked you up because I wanted to make sure you were coming through loud and clear. Those Mutas are on the way. So is it just 8, or are we going to see more coming? Oh, that's 12 Mutas on the way. Ooh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's what I get worried about when I see a Zerg like saturate every single gas geyser that they have, and a Spire goes down. I'm like, oh, he's going full Demilove here.
Yeah. I always forget that when I'm playing Demi. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna see 80 Mutas at some point in the map.
Yep.
This cannon not really covering this mineral line. Uh-oh. Ooh, nice snipe boss. Good play by Quaterno. Gets another one. That's 5 probe kills. Does lose 1 muta, but only 1. Okay, there we go. Second cannon in the main's going up. That's kind of nice. Archon drop. Oh, EMC2 drops the Archons on the mutas. Nicely done there. The mutas not being watched by Caterno.
He loses 3 of them there.
He's still massing them. 4 more.
Okay, well, I mean, if you get to critical mass of mutas, they actually don't get stopped by much at all, but the Archons are definitely a big deal. I love this from EMC2. He's got the better army. And if he just goes across the map, he has to force the mutas to engage him, and he's going to want that engagement under, like, 6 Archons here.
Doesn't have a lot of gateways. Only 7th and 8th gateway coming up now, so there's not going to be as many Zealot Warpins as we'd like. But, I mean, you're talking 5 Immortals with 8 Archons in front of them against Roach Ravager Ling Muta. This is not the army you want as Caterno right now. You're like, please run away. Please run away. Do not come in here. That's too many Archons, man.
Yeah, please leave. I don't think EMC2 is going to leave. He's going to have to push him out forcefully here. See Spinecrawlers going down everywhere, but these 3 are very unlikely to happen. The Mortal's going to punch through those with a charge lot so quickly. Another couple of mutas going down as well. That Prism is part of the control group. It's actually parked right on top of Spore Crawler, but the Spore Crawler gets taken down. EMC2 with the power plays here.
The Muta's trying to be real tricky. They get 2 sentries there. They activate some immortal barriers. Like, this is real fancy play. The Roaches and... Oh, no, they're in the force field. Oh, that slow field. The Lings just disappear to the Archons. Oh, my lord. Lings are not what you want against this.
Yeah, I think this might be all she wrote here with a solid A move from EMC2. There is nothing left of the Muta count, and it's just Roaches on the ground with a handful of Queens. And that is all EMC2 needs to take the win here. A charge lot reinforcement going to seal the deal, and there it is. EMC2 putting a map on the board for Pigpan, and if he wins one more, then Pigpan is going to clinch this final. Going to need to have 2 maps in a row here from Quaterno.
Yeah. Damn, man. This one's getting intense. It was really cool. Those Mutas looked like they were about to kind of bounce him back into that game, but I definitely think Caterno was playing a little bit from behind early on there. You know, the drone count was just a bit behind, and we saw that. I love that you skip Ling speed opening, you get OV speed straight away. Really cool opening. But EMC2, I think, scouted it with the Adept, and you saw EMC2 didn't even wall off the base. It was literally like, ha! Like, you don't have Zergling speed, there's nothing you can do to me. So it was really comfortable playing a very greedy opening. That's why we saw like 42 probes to like 32 drones or something like that in the early stage. And then the DTs, of course, going straight into the main base. Nice ballsy warp in from EMC2. Got some good damage. So carried the momentum from there. Let's see if these players can have a little bit of a different start in the second game. So here we go. Can he bring it back? He's got to win 2 in a row to win it for Born Gosu. Up here in the top left, in the red, it's Caterno.
Yeah, pretty decent map for it. And this guy in the bottom right, currently on match point for the whole thing. 1 map, if he wins this, will win the whole thing for Pig Pan, or rather the Taste of Bacon. Excuse me, you got so many clans. This is EMC2.
Will he make them taste the bacon? Taste that salty, yet delicious taste of being defeated.
If you want 40 to 50% of your daily intake of sodium and fat, breakfast bacon, guys, that's where it's at.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I actually had just like the best burger the other night my mate made, and I had this like just beautiful rasher of like perfectly just like the right amount of crispy bacon on it, and I'm just reliving it in my mind right now, and it was so good, man.
For my birthday, I went out to a place called Low and Slow, which is just like a slow cooked American barbecue place. And it's just like a banquet of ribs, brisket, pulled pork, wings, Kransky.
Yum.
And I still dream about it every moment I have. Every moment I like feel a slight hunger pang, my mind just takes me back to that dinner. And you just have like spicy hot mustard with it and like barbecue sauce. I'm like, oh my god.
Next time I get a chance to come down to Adelaide, I'm gonna be taking you out there, man. I'm gonna be like, wait, we're going to get some meat.
If you want to have so much meat that you're gonna eat salads for the next 3 days, then I will take you there.
You gotta like flush your system out. Like 6 hours later that night, you're having to drink heaps of water. It's kind of like when you've drunk too much alcohol, but it's just like all this delicious seasoned salty meat and stuff, and like you're like, oh, I need some water to wash this out, man.
That's right. Need to hydrate. Yeah, we actually both wife Nard and I woke up with salt hangovers the next day. We're just like, God, it's drinking water and holding our heads. Yeah, so this build so far, pretty standard for both players. EMC2 going for, it's like Nexus Cybercore. And this actually might be a Stargate build here from EMC2. Oh no, it goes to Twilight Council, never mind.
You know, I kind of like just delaying the warp gate because you don't really need it. If you do the exact same opening, you're clearly comfortable with it. You just delay the warp gate by a few seconds, so they're like, oh, I think it's a Stargate. And in that last game, Katerno did build Spore Crawlers very early. So maybe was worried about an Oracle. And anytime you get those Spore Crawlers to go down really early, that means that's less money going towards the nice quick Overseer and Roaches, which is what you wanted against the DT opening. The other opening, which I really like, because it's so out of the meta and rare, is Glaive Adepts. I think that's one of those openings people just don't play against a lot. And if you hit a crisp Adept timing, it can just kill so many workers. If you get in there when they've got like a medium number of lings, they're about to go to Roaches, but they're not quite out yet, you just start shading between mineral lines and having a party.
Yeah, I feel like Mass Glaive Adepts is definitely something you can throw out into a series to just catch the Zerg with their pants down. It's so powerful, and if you don't see it coming, you know, even if you're getting that well-timed Roach Warren, it can just snowball. It looks like another Archon drop build from EMC2. Is still, you know, mining gases and isn't dropping a bunch of gateways, so it's not like a big charge lot thing.
Oh, EMC2 is a little bit worried about the main. Wants to go for the dive here because he's worried he saw 2 workers still on gas, but doesn't get the scout. It goes down. So he's worried about a Nidus or a very fast Mutatech or something like that. So EMC2 now losing that Adept is a bit in the dark and only has a Stalker. But once again, no Ling speed. And we see once again, just a Stalker does go for the full wall off right now. So he's a little bit worried, thinking, oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Cancels the Dark Shrine.
Oh, he's worried.
Charge.
He thinks he's being all in. Oh, no. Okay. He can still do a strong all in off this. You can still do a good charge Immortal attack, but he's got to make sure he cancels that gateway at the front. It puts the Stalker in the wall. And the problem is that Overlord sees no gas on the natural. Oh no, shield batteries as well. Okay, no, he still thinks he's being all in.
All right, yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case here. He's just making Spore Crawlers. I mean, what he could do is, with all this production, make it an all-in for EMC2.
Absolutely. You got to cancel the batteries though, right? I feel like, I mean, the heads up you've got to have here as Katerno is like, oh, he's doing a 2-gas charge lot of Mortal all in. I think he's just going to be holding down the Roach Key. Looks like it. I feel like if Katerno went another like 7 or 8 workers, I'd be even happier. But he doesn't know that EMC2 is so paranoid. I mean, I don't know. You see the shield battery. Katerno's clearly like, what is happening right now? Sees a second Immortal. I think he's just as confused.
Yeah, the Overlord speed coming in here. And I mean, guys, if you're a Zerg player and you're not getting Overlord speed in your games to start things off with, please start now. It's cheaper now, and it just really helps so much. And let's say the game. EMC2 needs to punch his way out of here, and unfortunately, Gateway probably needs to pay the price.
Couple sentries will be here. I mean, it's not a massive economy advantage for Katerno, but it's just such a head start on the army production. I don't know about the spines. Like, they're not bad, but as long as he keeps the gas mining up and makes as many ravages as possible, that's like one of the biggest things. Oh, the sentry is staying at home.
I think they were meant to come out, but he didn't finish off the gateway.
Oh, no. Now he's going back to kill them. Oh, no. 1,200 minerals in the bank. Yeah, this is a hot mess.
EMC2 is freaking the fuck out right now.
Yeah. I mean, this always happens. If you think you're being all in and you kind of panic and cancel your tech and everything like that, it's really hard to get a normal build going. But, like, he desperately should be going, like, 12 gateways right now because he's only on 7. Is he just going to take a 3rd base now? Oh, no. I mean, it can work, but you've got to keep producing Immortals, warping in sentries, and you've got to have the force fields of a lifetime. Because I tell you, man, when you build this much Ravager Ling, and then the Protoss doesn't attack, you're gonna go across the map, and you're gonna kill that 3rd base. So EMC2 needs really good defense to hang on.
And Katerno's got a big flood of Lings. Thankfully, EMC2, on paper, does have enough production to get enough charge lots to fight back here. That 3rd is in trouble, though.
Yeah, it's gone. Get back. Run EMC2. You can't defend that, man.
Run DMC, run EMC. Okay, Walls on the front line here. The charge lots want to be in the front.
No, don't go out there. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. No! Biles! Ooh. Okay, it's just one. Not too bad. But yeah, definitely. I mean, this is just so rough for EMC2. Katerno now has complete dominance. Like, how do you even move out here? You're going to be moving out into Bile Zerglings around. Spire, mass drones, roach speed. Katerno's playing this textbook, you know? He just needs to add gases, swap into muters, and there's no way EMC2 can get a push across the map. You don't even need to fight as Katerno. You can wait for him to leave and then backstab this natural. There's no way EMC2 can get a fight on your side of the map, and that allows you to leverage 3 base economy into Mutalisks against Robo Charge Tech. Like, there's just... This is a checkmate if you do this properly as Katerno.
Yeah, it actually doesn't really... If you get all these things out, it doesn't matter how good EMC2 is. Like, if this was, say, you know, a pro Protoss on this account, he would still have a tough time holding on. There's just way too many things going well for the Zerg here. Cybercore goes down, so you know, he primarily is going to be making Zealots anyway out of the gateways, but that means no sentries. And Stalkers are sometimes a little bit helpful here against the Roach Potion, and that also means that he has only Archons and Sentries to shoot up against Mutalisks.
I mean, Archons are good, so like I'm kind of imagining like this Ravager Ling army, if another Archon or two warps in, I mean, he's building shield batteries, that's the last thing he needs. EMC2 needs to get across the map with like 4 Archons, just as Mutas pop, and hope that Caturno kind of takes a bad engagement here. Because if Caturno fights here, I think it's a bad choice, right? Ling's really weak versus this army. As Caturno, you don't want to fight. You want to backstab, get the Mutas in the mineral lines, get the Lings in the mineral lines. Refuse to fight, because Mutas, Zerglings, Ravagers all suck versus Archons and Zealots. Like, they're just not great versus them. It's your mobility that's your strength. Look at that movement from Caturno. Yeah, he's ready for it. He's like, no, man, I'll just backstab you. Easy.
Yeah. Oh, walls open. Cool. On my way in. Sure, mate.
Yeah, I mean, Archons might count as Zerglings, but not when it's 1 versus 100. Quick recall. But, oh no, it was only a few units in his other army. Force fields, yeah, Mortals and Sentries. He's trying to do some nice force fields, but Biles hammering him. Archons do a good engage, though. Nice engage for EMC2, making the best of a bad situation. The problem is those Mutas working their way across the south side of the map right now.
Yes, indeed. And it's only just 5 of them, thankfully. If it was a lot, if it was say like 10 or 12, that might just be checkmate and the game set match right there. But they are going to come on in and start picking away at this probe line, which is completely undefended from static defense. There's no shield batteries, no cannons like there was in game 1.
One Stalker and a Dream. Can it do it? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got this, mate.
Oh, he's almost supply blocked as well. He warps in 2 Archons on the front, and he's like, look, we just got to go. We've just got to fight, basically. He's going to lose all of his economy at home. It's one big all-in attack. There's still a lot of Zerglings in here, but quite a few more Roaches and Ravagers as well, which is really what you need to hang on. And I mean, 5 Immortals, no attack upgrades, but Immortals are an amazing unit. Archons are an amazing unit. If the Zerglings kind of go ahead into the Archon Zealot, they will get minced.
There is a world where this army wins for EMC2 for sure. It's very, very Ling heavy. Those Lings are mostly gone here. Just Roaches and Ravagers.
The Immortals doing some work from the back line. The Archon's getting some huge splash damage. The Archon's finally falling. There's only 2 left. A couple Zealots warping in, but that's the last minerals for EMC2. If he just had a few more Zealots and Archons warping in, he'd have this in the bag. But as it is it enough? Oh, the Stalkers at home are going to defend the Mutas. He's actually going to keep a mineral line up. Oh, EMC2 might do this. He could actually do this. Maybe.
Yes, he could. He needs another warp in. He's got 5 Immortals here, which is great. I kind of...
Nice hot pickup, but he can't unload right now. Good Biles on the warping in Zealot. And he's got to unload that. Immortal gets down. Spine just disappears. Spine. Okay, Broodling's going to come in. They might do a bit of help here. Oh, 2 Immortals very weak. One on the left, one on the right. The barrier activates on the left one. It saves. The one on the right gets picked up as well. Oh my god, these 5 Immortals are truly immortal. Every single one is in the double-digit kills. 3 of them are above 20 kills apiece right now. Zerglings desperately being built. I think Caturno... Oh, the Mutas are here.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say that this is all over, but the Mutas actually make a huge difference. There's a recall from EMC2, but recall for what? Where do they go? They don't have a home to go home to. There's 10 worker deficit here for the Protoss almost. But he did kill that 3rd base. The 4th hatchery for Quaterno, though, can now basically be a 3rd for him. So
that's it. Yeah. If he transfer, he transfers immediately. He knows. And how many Mutas is that? 5 versus what? 4 Stalkers? 5, oh man, this is rough.
7 actually.
And only 1 Immortal got out. Oh, I thought he saved 2 or 3, but only 1. Oh, man. He's trying to create a wall there. This Immortal's like, I'll hold the door. We're going to Hodor Immortal at the front of the base. I don't know, man. That's quite a bit of Zerg coming across.
He does have 2 shield batteries that are full of energy there. It's like, he could probably do all right. But yeah, the Mutas in the main base killing some more probes here. Darting around. I think some of the probes on the minerals are in range of that shield battery, but that's just a lot of Mutas.
Yeah, and every probe that goes down is precious right now. More Lings being produced by Caturno. I'd love to see Caturno swap into a purely Roach Ravager army, since you're forcing almost pure like Archons and Stalkers out. It's just those Zerglings have shown they're a little bit weak, and without any Evo upgrades, it's a little bit nasty. I want to see just, I guess Muta count growing is not bad. The 3rd base is rebuilding. The drone count has not rebuilt at all, but I think that's the right call. I think a lot of people would try to drone up here. You got to remember, EMC2's on 2 bases, which are very low on minerals, even though his work account's small, so it's going to take him a little while to mine out. Like, you just do not need to go above your income. As long as you're mining off fresh bases and you just keep transferring workers to new bases, you keep your mutas out of the map, you've just got to have enough units to backstab, to base trade, and to not die to the next wave of all-in.
Yeah, it's just so rough though. Like it feels like he's kind of damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. You know, if he tries and hold on, the Zerg will just continue to power ahead on 4 bases. I mean, thankfully for EMC2, Quaterno hasn't been sneaking in too many rounds of drones. He is just doing it now. But he retook the third, so he's back up to 4 bases. But with 35 workers, they're basically just production facilities. You know, he doesn't have a ton of mining income at the moment, but it is certainly still better than the Protosses, especially with that gas.
Yeah, just trying to go into Bane speed here as well to help clear those Zealots. Also very good for activating immortal barriers. Not great versus Archons, but not absolutely terrible either by any means. And I'm just so excited that, I mean, EMC2 thought an all-in was coming, freaked the hell out early game, but has made this game just quite close. And I'm very impressed by that. 4 Stalkers are still on the defense at home. The 7 meters just kind of posturing. It's one big attack. Archon, Zealots, 1 hero immortal with 20 kills. Roach Ravager, Baneling trying to defend. And I think...
Oh, that's so many roaches. And there's not that many mortals anymore.
32 roaches.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Oh, big Biles as well. Landing on the Archon Zealot. The Banelings! Oh, crashing through. Nicely done there.
Splash damage right there. Goodbye, Zealots, and goodbye, EMC2 for game number 1. And that means we're going down to one single map. One map to decide who wins CTL and who gets second place.
Damn, we've cast quite a few finals in a row now. Maybe
They've
5.
Never been this close.
Never been this close. Down to the final match. We always cast every single game, but often by the time we get to this stage, the series has been over score-wise by, 2 sets. So we're just watching to see, pride on the line kind of thing. But here we go. It's going to be I just opened not the final map. We'll hop out of that one, Piggy. We already cast Turbo Cruise, didn't we? Thunderbird is going to be the map. So there we go.
Yeah, excuse me. I'll just quick out of this one.
No worries, my bad. So guys, thank you everybody for joining us. Those who don't know what's going on, this is the Chobo Team League Grand Finals. We've cast games from Gold League here to the final Masters match. They were best of 1s before. They are now best of 3s. Or this final best of 3. It's 1-1 apiece. So the overall scoreline is 3 for Taste the Bacon, 3 for Born Gosu, and this final best of 3 decides who's going to go up 4-3 to win. It's 1-1 apiece, final map to decide it all. Thunderbird, Protoss vs Zerg. This is the tightest, most exciting we've ever seen. Guys, if you want to get involved in CTL next season, it's getting organized at the moment. Join that Discord in chat. Check out some of the clan members in chat. If you've got any questions, go ahead and ask. There's a lot of people who are adminning or part of the league who'd love to have you guys join their team, love to help you improve and get better at StarCraft. So get involved and let's enjoy this last map.
Yeah, man, let's do it. And let's get some chat noise out there and make some hype for these 2 warriors representing their respective clans. And the bottom right here from Taste the Bacon. He is, for the last time, EMC2.
And up here in the top left-hand side, a good reaction in that last game. Spying what was up, built lots of Ravagerling, utilized it to contain the opponent, and love that Mutalisk swap. So, looks like definitely keen on the mutas in the mid-game. It's Born Gosu's Quaterno.
He's like a little mini Demi-Love, man.
It's a good way to play, man.
Spire or die trying.
Especially, if someone's going 2-star Phoenix, yeah, but even if someone's gone, 1 Phoenix off a Stargate, I still love the Spire. I think it's just such a good move. You need to commit to maybe 11, 12 mutas at least in that case. You can't just do the 6 or 7. But it's just such a thing the Protoss player has to respect, right? That's what's so powerful about it. And you don't see it as commonly at pro play. You only really see it in a response to the Archon drop opening because they're so perfect. But at the imperfect levels of the game, just showing a Spire and then not even building out of it, that's one of the funny meta moves you can do as well. You're like, I have a Spire. And you're never planning to use it at all. And your opponent's cannoning and batterying every mineral line, building 2 Stargates. They build 4 Phoenix, and then they're like, where are the mutas? And they're like, the Zerg's like, lol, that only cost me 200 minerals and 200 gas. Was never planning to use it anyway. And that's the worst feeling as the Protoss, the best feeling as the Zerg.
Unless you're up against one of those Protosses that will blind 2 Stargate Phoenix every single PvZ.
Yeah.
In which case, going into Aspire is suicide.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one where you go, let's hopefully overseer scout that before too late. Can you imagine if you've just started like 14 meters and then like 8 Phoenix come across the map into your vision after you've queued them? You're like, no!
Yeah, that's the Feed the Protoss Foundation getting a massive donation there. So Templar, Twilight Council rather, getting dropped here again for EMC2. It seemed like it just seems to be his plan in PvZ.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just has the one build for the matchup, or I mean, he did switch into something a little bit different in game 2, but it felt like it was sort of shooting from the hip, a little bit on the fly.
Yeah.
That second game because of the adept shade, or seeing the workers and freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, he went bad guy in an action movie when the good guy's hiding in a house and, they just spray bullets at the walls. Like, that's ever going to be effective. He kind of did that a little bit in panic. Thought the all-in was coming. But I love his adept usage. AMC2's been fantastic with scouting with this. And you notice he's really on point with scouting that main base. Oh, he's going a bit deep here, though. A little bit. Oh,
okay, yeah.
There get out. Oh, he's just going to count the drones. See, he's only 5 workers. I'm not sure he saw those extra ones pop. It is fast OV speed once again for Kotono, late Ling speed. I actually love a double adept pressure. First players who do this, where you just go straight second adept, chrono them both, get across and dive in, since they won't have Ling speed. If you do a little bit of wriggling, sometimes you get 5, 6, 7 workers with that, and it's really huge. But as it is, he's going to dive again. Accidental no cancel. Truly is a member of my clan. That's my move. I do that maybe 70% of the time. It's like, I just go home in macro and I forget to cancel it. And I'm like, I both don't look at the scouting and I lose the adept. And I'm like, well, that's not what you meant to do.
Nice. Yeah, everything's just gearing up. I'm pleased to see that EMC2 isn't pulling out of the strategy, not overreacting to the early stages of the game here, seeing only the 5 drones. The Natural's just like, yeah, cool, still going to go into my DT Archon drop. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked out in game number 1, even when Quaterno saw it coming. Actually, that Speed Overlord sees the Prism leaving the main base, who knows exactly what that is as the Overlord comes in, sees the Dark Shrine, sees the extra gateways go down.
Yeah, and Kotono's economy is not that high again. Like, those super fast spores keeps you very safe versus cheeky oracles, but I mean, now you've got 33 drones versus 40 probes. You're already building roaches, so it doesn't want to get caught out. Remember, the DT warp-in got in there before the roaches were ready last time, but the thing is, these DTs have no pressure on them to do damage. Like, anything they do here is a bonus, because Kotono's economy is already so much smaller than the Protos's.
Well, there is a Spore Crawler, but these 4 DTs don't have a whole lot of actually attacking units to deal with them just yet. Oh, here come the Lings. The Prism needs to get on the field here, save them all.
Oh, good fight, though. Turns and just takes out the Zerglings. Got to get out of there now. Yeah. Oh! Good pick up there by EMC2. A little dangerous, but does get out of there. Gets a Queen and a few Zerglings. Not bad, and a very safe position to warp in some Archons on this north side. And behind it, it looks like Probe moves out to take a third, but there's some Zerglings there. Oh, Koterno just not quite in position. If those Zerglings were on the base, that would create such a problem for EMC2. But it looks like Koterno actually wants to do a Speedling drop into the main base. Very cool.
Ooh. Well, all these New Age Zergs are going for Nidus Worms. Hipster Zergs like Quaterno are going for Ling drops. It's only just the 5, but it is still very annoying considering that, EMC2 is just trying to secure a third base. He's maybe not looking at the minimap right now.
Yeah, his Archons are being microed on the other side. He could lose a lot of probes to this. Already 1-2 going down. Need a quick warp in. There we go. Zealots do warp in, but the Zerglings just kind of track onto those probes, and that's going to be a lot of kills. An awesome move here by Koterno. And yeah, well worth it. He can just pick up and leave as well. Oh, he says, you don't have a Phoenix, mate. I can just dance all day. I can dance all day. No! Oh no! Oh, redrops with the adept straight away! Oh,
you're going to be seeing. I think we're going to see EMC2 maybe start working in some Stargate builds into future PvZs.
I mean, the Sentry's finally come back. Where's that Stalker? The Stalker's been chilling down at the wall the whole time. She finally comes back to shut this down, but amazing damage. 9 probe kills, keeping your opponent massively occupied. The Lings are even going to try and take out the Stalker. He's just forcing so much APM, and EMC2's economy is way behind now. Yeah,
and that's the thing, because EMC2 is just trying to mitigate the damage so hard back at home. He does not block this 4th hatchery that just gets dropped right now. He could maybe drop Archons and DPS it down, but the Roaches are there to fight. His Archon drop was basically idle for the last like a minute, nearly 2. So it's
that's the power. Keep your opponent busy, right? Really.
Yeah, attention is a resource, as they say. There's not just minerals and gas and supply. Attention is another big one as well. So Prism gets pushed back. Bit of a rough start here for EMC2, but definitely has the tools to be able to come back. He just needs some good fights and maybe a cool bit of harassment if you can get that done.
Yeah, he's got to like just chrono his probes and hold that down for a while. Like his immortal production's good, but his probe count is what he's been lagging on, and he's not building probes nonstop. So he's trying to kind of scout now and stuff. He's trying to do all his normal things, but definitely needs to get the gases, the Templar Archives down. This is so much further behind than it was in game 1. I think what's working in his favor is Kotono's not going Spire. I actually think Spire would be the god move right now from Kotono's position, where it would be so hard for EMC2 to deal with it. Ravagerling's a solid build though. It's just going to kind of push things to the later stage. We're going to see how both players fare with those big supply ground armies.
Yeah, see, EMC2's Archon's taking a little bit of damage there from the Roaches. Didn't manage to get the creep treatment like he wanted. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's time to get those Archons out of there because you never know. Hydras, Mutas, anything could come out soon. So it's good to see EMC2 go home at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you on the probe count here. EMC2 unfortunately has a very high chrono energy on that natural nexus, so definitely not chrono boosting much at all here. And I mean, there's a lot that could be chronoed. We got double immortal production, Nexus is making probes, all those things could definitely do with an extra bit of production speed. Or Kotono getting an infestation pit and a ton of roaches. I think he might be going into Nidus here potentially.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just go straight to Hive as well. Would probably be good. Like maybe Hive and Spire wouldn't be bad. Probably need a bit more gas for that. Could be Swarm Host, Ravagerbane Swarm Host. Some people,
That's what I meant to say was Swarm Hosts with +1 attack there, infestation pit, but it is going to be Hive so far. Okay.
Yeah, and Spire as well. So it's just going up to Broodlord. So Ravagerling Bane, such a good defensive army, but it falls off really hard once Mass Storm Immortal Archon gets on the field. So you say, oh, by the time you're ready with that Mass Storm Immortal Archon, hey, I've got a bunch of Broodlords. Get wrecked. And this Phoenix sees the Hive. He's looking at it as well. EMC2 selects it, steers it in, sees the Hive, sees the Spire. Now he's got two options as a Protoss. He either adds Tempests, adds carries, tries to play that late game, or he says, look, I know it's about 2.5 minutes till the Broodlords are ready. I want to hit at 2 minutes, just before the Broodlords are morphing. Big Storm Arc on Immortal Push and try to take you out before you get to that proper Hive Tech army. Because otherwise, you stay on this army, you sit back, those Broodlords will just come over and knock you out. So I wonder which way EMC2 is going to go. For now, he's got a big Ravagerling Bane army posturing on his side of the map that he's got to worry about.
Yeah, one Zergling of Quaterno saw the 4th Nexus attempt here from EMC2. He's trying to take the higher ground 4th Nexus so he has a high ground advantage, but that does mean that now he has this little choke point to fight in, and that Nexus is exposed before it's completed. It looks like Quaterno is going to try and force a cancel here. The Ling's coming in here. Ravagerling Bane ready for that Protoss Gateway army. A late response from EMC2. That's going to have to be a cancel.
I mean, this is just such an easy snipe for Kotono. I love this move. A few Roaches and Ravagers on the right. Actually pull part of EMC2's army out of position. Ling's in the mineral line as well. Oh my, 9 probes went down at the same time. Ooh. Damn, very nice moves. And oh, look at this, Kotono just picking off units. EMC2's army's getting out in disarray. Immortal's out in the open again. Oh no. Oh, I mean, he wants to
for the recall to try and save them. I actually don't hate that. You know,
that's a good move.
Losing him, that's for sure, but he loses one of the Immortals.
Yeah. Oh man, good movements by Kotono though. Corruptor's Great Aspire on the way, and you're just keeping your opponent busy. Remember we talked about, like, really you got to push before these Broodlords morph. Well, that's about 1 minute away. Broodlords will finish morphing in 1 minute. I think EMC2 has to go. He doesn't have any Archons to buffer, and that's the big problem here, because Banelings almost always find the mark on those High Templar if you don't have Archons to buffer. So I'd love 1 round of Archon morphins and just go.
One good news scenario here for EMC2 is there's not going to be that many Broodlords. Quaterno is very close to maxed here. So maybe if it's just primarily a ground army, he has a lot of Storm. Excuse me. A couple of those high energy High Templar are actually becoming Archons right now.
Oh no, that's a... Oh, he's still got some Storm in there. I guess he's still got like five Storms. I think it should be enough. This is a scary army. 134 army supply for Zerg, 118 for Protoss. There's only 20 Banelings in here, only 2 Broodlords morphing. Corruptor's not going to be useful right now. It's all going to come down to this fight.
Oh, those Storms are really good. He kills most of the Banelings. There's still so many charge lots alive. Some Banelings to the south side. The Broodlords in range. He's getting really close here.
This is so close. An Immortal rallies in and gets wrecked. A lot of the army on the north splitting up a little bit. These Roaches... Uh-oh, there's not enough Roaches and Ravagers left. The Broodlords are coming out now. They're morphing. Those 2 Broodlords firing. 3 are about to finish. But no, they go down before they can finish. There's only 2 Broodlords standing. And they are going to take forever to clear this army. That 4th base goes down. He's got his own 4th base up behind it. Does EMC2. Will he be able to take out another Broodlord? He's got some Stalkers, but no blink. He can go in and maybe go for the 3rd, but this is going to be a one-way trip. The further he pushes in here, the more he'll bleed off units. Is he gonna? He's going to go for it. He's going to dive.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Zerglings. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's so
lord.
many Lings, and
Oh.
this army with these Archons.
Oh,
Usually
no.
it's fighting against Lings, but with the Broodlings as well. Oh, and there's so many Lings here from Quaterno, and he's got +1 attack on them as well.
Yeah.
They are dancing through this army of EMC2.
Oh, man.
my God.
The Zerglings just doing the magic there. The Immortal count going down. EMC2 still rallying in Zealots. I mean, it's not necessarily over. They're both on low economies, but without Blink started, without a Void Ray on the way, like there's no answer to the Broodlords. So yeah, he's going to recall the Zealots. What do you go here? What's EMC2's choice? He's in a tough spot. He's going to make High Templar. He's going to make Archons. He's going to make Storm. I mean, what else? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, the Zerglings are going to find the High Templar, Maynard. No, are they?
Yeah, I mean, they are going to be Archons. They can take a little bit of a hit. Quaterno's taking his time here.
Oh, they might just have enough time.
Archons will finish.
Yeah, okay. They do okay.
You know what? I'm beginning to think more and more that EMC2 just doesn't like Stargates. He hates them aesthetically.
I wouldn't go Stargates here either, to be honest.
No,
but
it's
I mean,
a lot of Blink Stalkers, I think.
no Blink is going to make it hard. Yeah, and the Archons are so wounded. He needs to full back. Get out of there. Uh-oh. Broodlords, pick off one Archon. If they can get another 1 or 2 Archons, or yeah, 4 Archons is not enough because look at those minerals. Those minerals wall you off. Another Archon falls. That's huge. EMC2 is going to need to give up this base and wait for more units. Now, what's working in his favor, this Roachling is near worthless at this stage of the game for Quaterno. If EMC, and he's actually sending it in. If EMC2 can defend, oh no, the Lings in the mineral line. Oh, EMC2, he's not giving up the 4th base. He wants to fight the Broodlords, but I don't think he's ready.
No, I think that this might have been the critical blow there from Quaterno. He's going to lose one of his Broodlords, but like you mentioned, Pig, he's got those minerals to fall back to, and there's nothing that MC2 can do about it. If he blinks onto the other side of those minerals, that is suicide. They do not come in. They check in, but they don't check out. Another Stalker goes down, and that Ling counterattack actually, I think, sealed the deal here for Quaterno. He's up so many workers. He's retaken hatcheries all over the map. He's taken his whole top left-hand side of Thunderbird, and his army just doesn't look counterable at the moment by EMC2.
Oh, so close here. But yeah, that Link count is so good. And I mean, he's finally remembered the Warp Prism has EMC2. He's going to try and drop Archons on it, but he's too focused on the Broodlords as a problem. And he's playing into Quaterno's hands right now. Let the Broodlords come to you in a wide open area. That's the general rule. You never fight Broodlords with a ground army until they overextend. And they literally do not need to overextend to engage this base. As EMC2, you want to base trade. You want to counterattack. You do not want to fight the Broodlords here. They're going to get over the dead space too easily. There's too many of them. But EMC2, he's trying to solve this unsolvable problem of how do I engage these Broodlords? The answer is you cannot. There is no way to win this fight.
Yeah, and he's losing a bunch of his army as he is trying to go for that big counterattack. He loses a few Archons, loses a few Gateway units on the way through as well. I mean, this is basically his only option. He's on match point. He's just going to go for a big F2A and hope for the best.
I mean, this was the right way to do it, but I think the Broodlords have had a head start on him now. They're already halfway back when the fight starts. The Lings and Roaches, look at this. They're baiting him back towards the Broodlords. They're saying, come over here, leave my drones alive. Come on, get back over here. And whilst he'll get rid of one base, the Broodlords are going to corner him. His own production is being depowered at home. So EMC2 here running out of money. The Broodlord's going to sync up with this. The Corruptors are going to take out the Warp Prism as well. And a lovely handling of this scrappy late game from Quaterno. Barely survives the timing. Gets the Broodlords out. Takes out the core of Immortals and Archons. And from there, a nice Broodlord push on the 4th. Closes out the series 2-1. And wins it for Born Gosu. 4 wins, 3 losses. An insanely close grand finals. But at the end of the day, Born Gosu are the champions. Hot damn.
It, man. One map in the bag, though. That was definitely a bum clencher. That was a nail biter. If I was sitting on a piece of coal, it would be a diamond right now. It was so close. And you know what? I actually saw in chat that there was a 500 MMR difference between Quaterno and EMC2. If that's true, I am even more impressed with the MC2 series, because that is actually a very, like, when you get up in a Masters League, 500 MMR is actually a massive difference between, you know, the skill of one player and another. It starts that, you know, the MMR gaps are actually a much bigger deal as you get higher and higher up the ladder. So congratulations to EMC2 for not only taking a map, but making that 3rd game even really close. That attack when he was first attacking the 4th base, when he first came in with the with that wave of Immortals and the first few broods were being made, I was starting to believe, man. I was starting to believe it was looking very, 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 very close. So, you know, I don't think that EMC2, while, you know, obviously all you want to do is win, you want to win it for your team. I think Pigpan has, or rather the Taste of Bacon clan has never looked better, and EMC2 should be proud of himself for his effort against a monster like Quaterno.
Hells yeah. Great games from everybody around. And, you know, I thought we were going to get squashed after the first few games. I was like, oh no. But yeah, everybody fought back. You know, It started there with mechanics, with the little Zergling rush, which did very well. We had Wobulator and a bunch of others, but there was some amazing dominating games from BG at the start of the series. So awesome to see overall. Big shout out to all of you. I mean, that last game as well, it was just that Ling drop. I mean, just undid EMC2's focus, right? Oh man, it was like, I think the real kicker, like I always focus on one point where I'm like, oh no, like I know I would tilt so bad at that moment if I was in those shoes. And it was when the Adepts warped in, defended the Zerglings picked up, and the Adepts let their shade finish away, and the Zerglings dropped again and started killing more pros. Like, that's the point where my brain breaks if I'm in EMC's shoes in that game. And I go, ah! I just start like screeching into my mic, like grabbing my probes with my army and go across the map because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing from that point. But he stabilized and almost got back in a really nice position. So an amazing series. And yeah, I mean, let's just once again say, guys, please do get involved for next season, season 23 coming up. If you guys could post in chat when it's going to be starting or you know, a sign-up's open yet. As always, get your link spammed in chat again. So people who are watching, who are casual players, if you're a silver or gold player, you are the most desirable. You're the prettiest girl in the room right now. You could be an airline hostess in the 60s. Like, seriously, everyone wants you on their team. It's hard to find gold players for CTL. So join these Discords, ask the teams around. You get your pick of the litter.
That's right. CTL is basically the place to go if you're a player that's serious about improving, or even if you just want to have a good time. And you can just treat it like Pig mentioned, like a footy club. Just showing up and being there with your clan, practicing together, having scrims, laddering, but not being alone. You can always chat to, you know, vent to your friends, send in replays, and get some advice from the high-level players in the clan, even if you're a low-level player. If you are gold level and you join a clan and you keep playing StarCraft 2, you will not be gold for very long. In fact, you won't be platinum for very long. You level up so quick, it's insane. So get in there and treat yourself. Enjoy that CTL.
Hells to the yeah. Awesome, Maney. Thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure, mate.
You keen to play any games or anything? You done for the day?
I got to head off, man. Saturday's usually my off day, but I came in for CTL because CTL. Hell yeah. That's why.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes.
Maynard taking his Saturday morning, getting out of bed nice and early to cast this one. So big thanks to Maynard. If we get some shout outs in chat for Maynard's stream, guys, please do go give some follows, give some subs and all that stuff. You normally stream Monday to Friday, right? So you'll be back day after tomorrow?
Monday to Friday my time, which is for the Americans out there, is usually Sunday to Thursday in the evening PST. So that's my schedule.
Get on in there, guys. Click his channel, give him a sub, a follow if you don't already. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching and enjoying the show. I guess I'll stream for a little bit longer. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I don't think I have energy to cast. We'll probably just like cheese some Star-Lord games or something. But thanks for joining me, Maynard. Really appreciate it, man.
It's always a pleasure, mate. Any excuse to cast with you.
Aw, thank you, dude. All right, well, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. And we can play some teamies later this week, man.
That'd be my pleasure. All right. Have a great stream.
Laters.
Bye.
Big thanks to Maynard for that. Big thank you everybody who supported